Hello, I'm Scott. Welcome to the third video in our little barrel modelling tutorial series here. What we've done so far is we've taken a basic poly cylinder, we've added edge loops going up and down the mesh, we've added an edge loop on the top to give us a second cap, we've placed those edges where we needed them to be, we've then extruded in the top and we've extruded in the bottom of the mesh to give us the dips on the lid and the base of the barrel, and we've pulled in the sides so that we get these little lips and these rings running around the outside. What we're going to do in this episode is we're going to bevel out some of the areas of the barrel, and after we've done that we're going to make sure that the smooth shading on the barrel is looking good, and we're just going to check that as we go we don't bevel anything too aggressively and tear the mesh or cause any problems with the geometry. So what we're going to do for this to start is we're going to go hold right click down and we're going to go into edge select. Now we're just going to use shift and double click to select a lot of the edges around the barrel in loops. So if we hold shift and we double click, it's going to give us this whole ring running right around the inside. We're going to do the same again for the next one and the outside here. I'm just going to move this. We're then going to take the underside of the lip as well. Now, we're not going to touch the two rings running around, we're just going to focus on the lips of the barrel just now. So we're going to do the same on the bottom, holding shift down the whole time and just double click in one edge in each loop as we go. We'll just keep selecting multiples as we go around. So we'll just double check that we've got all the edges for the bottom lip and we've got all the edges for the top lip. Now, the reason we select them all at one time is that when we apply a bevel, it's going to do the same bevel on all of these edges together rather than one by one having to do it. We can just blanket the whole thing and get it all in one operation. So the bevel tool is this little orange cube with white shaved off corners on it at the top here. If we click that, and we just get this little pop-up menu here. Now we can already see that it gives us a preview of the bevel it's applying to the object, which is a 0.5 bevel with one segment. So the segments is how many times is it dividing the little face it's applied here. So we only need one, and we can play around with this value a bit more and see what 0.75 looks like, which is a bit heavier, but it's also going to cause a little bit of problems here on the underside. So we're just going to go back to 0.5 and press enter. That's probably better for what we need. We're not going to have any problems emerging later with a really tight little face stuck in between there. So now that we've done that bevel, if we just click off, that applies it. So we can see on the bottom here, it's applied that one bevel to all of the edges we selected at the same distance. Now, with the beveling, it increases our poly count quite a bit, because each one of these rings that we've beveled is another 16 faces all the way around. We can already see over here at the top left that our barrel is just around 500 polys now, so we don't really want to push that too much higher by adding another 16 and 16. Well, it would be 8 times for each edge loop around the middle here. What we can do for the rings is we can go into our edge select, we can double click this top ring, and we can use shift and double click to get this next one, and then if we press R we can scale these up a bit so that we smooth this face out. In doing that, when we apply smooth shading to the object later, because this is more curved here than these right angle bends, the smooth shading should capture that without having any shading issues on the mesh. So we'll just do the same again here. Now, to check that these look the same, because it's hard to tell when we're in this perspective view, we're going to hold space, we're going to hold left click on Maya, and then we're going to hover over front view and let go. Now, my reference barrel is in the way here, so we'll click on that, we'll press W and we'll just move it out of the way, and we'll zoom in a bit. So our scales look roughly the same on the top and on the bottom, so we're happy with that. We'll just hold space again, hold left click on Maya and hover over perspective view and let go. So what we want to do now is we want to click on our mesh we want to hold space, we want to hover over this mesh display just below Maya. If we hold left click down on that, we're going to get this big pop-up menu, and we want to hover over soften edge and then let go. Now that's going to apply a soft shading over the whole object. So if we click off, it's rounded out a lot of the edges for us without having to add extra geometry, because we're telling Maya how to shade this object. Another way to get into that tool is to go to the top menu here where it says mesh display, and you just click on the drop down menu, and then soften edge is just down here again on that top menu. You've got to make sure your mesh is what you have selected when you do that though, otherwise it won't apply it to anything. So now that we've checked that the edges are all looking soft, we're going to want to add our little nozzle on the top. So for that, in the next video, we're going to delete off the top faces, we're going to spawn in a second cylinder, we're going to place it where we need it, and then we're going to combine these two meshes. But we'll do that in the next episode. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time.